doodle, thinky doodle. Yeah, yeah. Thinky doodle, yeah, yeah, yeah. Thinky doodle, yeah, yeah.
All right, everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Definitely. Always ready to dig into some data.
Well, today we're tackling something pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
It's about the power shift happening in the entertainment world.
Ooh, interesting. Like what?
You know, we all love a good underdog story.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The come from behind against all odds kind of thing.
Exactly. But what happens when the underdog, becomes the top dog?
I see where you're going with this.
Well, that's exactly what's happening with music right now.
Really?
It's becoming a global powerhouse.
Wow.
In fact, it's even overtaken cinema in terms of revenue. Can you believe that?
No way. For real. Cinema's always been like, the big dog.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. But the data doesn't lie.
So what kind of data are we talking about?
So we're looking at a report by Will Page. He's a former economist at Spotify, knows his stuff.
Okay, sounds legit. And what's this report saying?
It says that music copyright revenues hit a record high last year.
Last year, so 2023.
Yep, a whopping $45.5 billion.
$45.5 billion. That's massive.
I know, right? And get this. That's more than what the global cinema box office brought in.
Hold on, seriously. How much did cinema make?
Only $33.2 billion.
That's still a huge number, but yeah, music totally blew it out of the water.
Right. It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
It really is. Like, how did music become such a powerhouse all of a sudden?
Well, there are a few things at play here.
Like what?
One is the way we consume music these days, it's totally changed.
Yeah, streaming has taken over everything.
Exactly. Just a decade ago, digital was only a tiny fraction of the revenue for copyright organizations, like 5%.
Oh, only 5%. I had no idea.
I know, it's crazy. Now it's the majority. Streaming platforms like Spotify and Apple Music.
Yeah, those are everyone's go-to now.
Totally. They've become the driving force. They've completely changed how we access and pay for music.
It's so convenient, you know? Like you have every song at your fingertips.
Right. And it's not just about streaming. There's something else that's making a comeback.
Oh, what's that?
Vinyl records.
Really? Vinyl, like the old school records?
Yep. Those big black discs, they're back in a big way.
Wow. I guess everything old is new again.
I know, right? They're projecting vinyl sales in the U.S. to hit $1 billion next year, 2024.
$1 billion? That's a lot of records.
It is. And globally, it could even overtake CD sales, which is pretty wild.
That is wild. What do you think is fueling this vinyl resurgence? Just nostalgia?
Nostalgia definitely plays a part, you know, that warm, fuzzy feeling.
Yeah, like taking a trip back in time.
Totally. But I think there's more to it than just that.
Like what?
I think it's also about that tangible experience, you know?
Yeah, in a world that's so digital, it's nice to have something physical to hold on to.
Exactly. It's like a ritual, putting on a record, looking at the album art. You're engaging with the music in a different way.
It's a more mindful experience, not just passively listening in the background.
And let's not forget about the sound quality.
Yeah.
Some people swear by the warmer, richer sound of vinyl.
It's definitely a different way of experiencing music, that's for sure.
Absolutely. But getting back to the report, there was this concept they talked about that I found really intriguing.
Oh, yeah. What was that?
They called it glocalization. Basically, it's about local artists going global.
Glocalization. I haven't heard that term before. How does it work?
Well, they use the example of Mexican artists. They've become the second largest music exporters to the U.S.
Wow, overtaking Canadians. That's impressive.
It is. And it all ties into this idea of glocalization, local artists breaking through on a global scale.
So it's like they're staying true to their roots, their local culture.
Exactly. But they're also reaching a much wider audience.
And what's driving this trend?
A big part of it is streaming platforms.
Oh, I see. Makes sense.
Yeah, they give these artists a way to connect with people all over the world.
They don't have to rely on traditional methods like getting signed by a major label, right?
Right. It's like they can bypass all that and go straight to the fans.
That's amazing. Really levels the playing field.
Totally. And the report even mentioned that Colombian artists are now making more money from U.S. streaming.
Really? More than in their home country?
Yep. They're earning $78 million from U.S. streaming compared to 74 million in Colombia.
Wow, that's incredible. Talk about global reach.
It really is. But it
Yeah.
also makes you wonder, are there any downsides to this globalization thing?
That's a great question. I mean, it's great that these artists have more opportunities, but they're also facing a lot more competition now, right? The marketplace is so much bigger.
That's true. And there's always the risk of their music being, I don't know, homogenized to appeal to a global audience.
Yeah, losing that unique local flavor that made them stand out in the first place.
And then there's the whole issue of cultural appropriation. That's always a concern.
Definitely something to be mindful of as music becomes more and more globalized.
Absolutely. So we've got music outperforming cinema, the rise of streaming, the comeback of vinyl, and this whole globalization phenomenon.
It's a lot to unpack, but it's super fascinating.
It really is. And it's clear that we're living in a boom time for music, just like Will Page said in his report.
Totally. So where do you think all of this leads? What does the future hold for music?
Well, it's hard to predict for sure, but I think we're going to see even more diverse artists breaking through to global audiences.
Yeah, music is becoming more and more fluid. Genre lines are blurring.
And technology, I mean, who knows what innovations are coming next?
It's exciting to think about. Music creation and consumption are going to keep evolving.
Definitely. So to all our listeners out there, as you're jamming to your favorite tunes,
Yeah, take a moment to think about this.
how is this global music explosion impacting your own listening habits?
Are you discovering new artists from all over the world?
Are you branching out and exploring different genres?
And maybe even, how is it influencing your own creative endeavors?
The possibilities are truly endless. That's all the time we have for today.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Keep those speakers bumping.
Doodle, pinky,